What's up, guys? Zaid here with my boy TrixTrap. If you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Should go check it out. But today we're doing a deck profile on his Eldlich deck. And what rank are you right now with it?
Right now I'm Platinum 5. I haven't been playing a lot lately, but I do want to change some things about it to more so fit to the Platinum rank decks.
I guess let's get right into the list then, and we'll talk about the changes that come up.
Yeah, but as of right now, this is a really simple deck to get to Platinum with. You just have to, it's back row the deck.
Yeah, just flip your traps, win the game.
Yeah, flip your traps, win the game. But to start out with the hand trap lineup, we're playing 3 Max C and 2 Ash. Max C with set 5 means you skip their turn, unless they also have Ash or Called By.
And then they still have to play through the back row.
Then they still have to play through 5 back row, and it's just like, it's pretty hard to do. But without it, it's just, if they try to play through 5 back row, you draw a million cards, and you set 5 back row again, and probably have another Max C. And then 2 Golden Boy. Only 2 Golden Boy. If 3 is really cloggy, and you'll just draw it a lot when you don't want to see it.
Is there a world where you'd play 1, or does it come up a lot where 1 gets banished, or you need the second for overlay fodder?
Dude, it comes up a lot, especially against, like, if you're playing against Invoke Dolls or, like, Sky Striker. There's so many decks, like, banish on resolution, so you just lose your Golden Lord, and if you don't have your second one, you eat shit. It's it's not a fun time.
You get a nice mouthful of poop.
And, like, playing against those decks with Eldlich is really weird, because you gotta be very careful of when you activate Golden Lord effect, or it does get banished, and then you just lose access to, like, a whole part of your deck.
Yeah, that card, when it's gone, if both of them are gone, you're like, oh, I guess I'm just playing like a fair deck now. My traps aren't actually traps, they're just level 5 trap monsters.
Yeah, dude, without Golden Lord, they're awful. But, now going into the spells, we got my favorite card in the deck, Card of Demise. So, the reason why this is my favorite card is because I think that this is, like, one of the most incredible going second cards that you can possibly have with this deck. Because going second, you're going to want to try to break pieces of their board so that your traps have an easier time with their clapback turn. So, like, you're pitching cards with Golden Lord, you're sending to bring Golden Lord back, and after you're done all that, I mean, you're not bringing him back the turn you activate Card of Demise, because you can't special summon, but you could just pitch, you can also Twin Twister that turn, and then just refill your hand, set your traps, and then pass.
Also, going second with it, like, you would have used your hand traps already, so they're hopefully not, like, clogging the hand.
Oh yeah, and, like, another cool thing with Demise is that if you draw cards, traps that you can't use, you pitch your Golden Land cards, and then they get effect next turn.
So, like, you have 5 back row, then you also have back row engraved, just locked and loaded.
Yeah, it's crazy, because, like, you use those back row on your opponent's turn, and then, like, on their end phase, you just set more back row, and then you can use them on your turn to, like, break their board again.
How often does it conflict with Ash?
What do you mean by that?
Like, how often are you either drawing Ash and Card of Demise in the same hand, or activating Demise and drawing into Ash and then having to discard it?
Unfortunately, because Maxi and Ash, it happens every once in a while. But, funny thing with Ash is that if you set it, and then it lives because you have so many traps, you just stop all your opponent's plays, you can actually make this guy with one of the trap monsters in Ash. And it's,
yeah.
he's big. I mean, it's not the greatest play in the world, but it's better than just pitching Ash.
Yeah, and it's not like you're really using your normal summon that turn anyways. You don't really have any normal summons in this deck.
Yeah. And then, 3 Pot of Extravagance, because best draw card. You don't use your extra deck that often, and when you do, generally just for this guy, and you want to be playing probably 3 of it if you can, but 2 of it's completely fine, because you're only playing it once per game.
Is there a reason why you don't play Prosperity? Are the other cards just, like, better?
I just don't have them.
Would you play it over one of these pots, though, or do you think these are, like, the optimal 6 draw cards? 9 with Max C.
I think that I'd either play one pot or the other with Card of Demise, just because you don't want to draw a ton of your pots and then not have the extra deck to banish to draw them.
Yeah, and you can only use one of them per turn. Like they both
Yeah,
conflict with one another.
yeah. Which it's cool playing two different draw cards though, because if one of them gets ashed, you just have another one in hand.
Yeah, you're like, all right, thanks, kid. I
You're just
actually
like,
needed
oh
this
yeah,
extra out of my hand anyways.
whoop de doo. I'll set the rest of my cards and then I'll draw three. And then we're playing one Eldlich of Black Awakening and Cursed Eldland. I was playing two Cursed Eldland, but I cut it down to one because I think it's a really clutch search if you need to break a board or something. If you say one of your Golden Lords gets banished, you start with Golden Lord and then it gets banished. You draw into Eldland, and you just get the search and you break their board. With two, I draw it. I draw both of them consistently and just like not. It's a brick.
Yeah. I'm personally not the biggest fan of that card. I played it. I played Eldlich at locals this week, and I was playing one of it also. But I didn't. I would have played this other card, the Lord of Heavenly something. I would have played him if I had a second one, but I didn't. So I just played one Cursed Eldland, and for me the card's like not terrible, but I don't like that it takes up a zone in your spell trap zone. I'd rather just set 5 than have to set 4.
Yeah, I think it's a good going second card and an awful going first card.
It's probably nice in this best of one format too, just being able to search the curse to have outs to things that you would typically side outs in the regular game.
Yeah, and like especially going second, it gets you your Golden Lord, and then you pitch that, and you could just pitch one of these guys or an Eldlich or whatever you feel like pitching. You pop a card on their board, and then you just send this to special your Golden Lord, and then you get its effect to send another trap. So you get to set 2 traps off of that.
And win the game!
That's the goal. And then I'm playing 2 Twin Twister because sometimes back row is really annoying.
Why do you pick Twin in particular as your back row removal? Is there like a case to play Harpy's Feather Duster or like whatever the trap one's called? Heavy Storm Duster? Are there a case to play any of those type of cards, or is Twin just optimal?
You could definitely play Heavy Storm Duster over it if you wanted to. The reason I play it is because over Harpy's Feather Duster especially is because it's quick play, so they set on their main 2, and then you on their end phase you just flip Twin Twister and pop their board. And I like Twin Twister because you can pitch Golden Lord off of it. You
And
can pitch Golden Lord or the traps to feed your drop area, so you get more of your drop area effects.
Drop area.
Drop
Goddamn
area.
Dragon Ball player.
Listen, I am a Dragon Ball player. I'm a big Dragon Ball player. You know, I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a hot minute until Master Duel came out.
So the world's best game.
Dude, I'm loving this game. It's getting me back into Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
I'm glad it got you to start making Yu-Gi-Oh content. Having another boy making Yu-Gi-Oh content is nice. Speaking of which, again, guys, make sure you check out his channel. There's also a replay of this deck up if you want to see it in action.
Yeah, it's against Bird Up, which was quite the interesting matchup because that deck can just kill you.
Yeah, it can. That deck is
That deck is mighty. But now for the trap lineup, we got Triple Torrential Tribute, my favorite trap card of all time, I think.
And it's only a rare.
And it's only a rare. This card is free in this game. Like, commons and rares are the most free you can get. Supers are like kind of free because you do get a lot of super rare gems.
You're sitting on a bunch right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting on 350 still, and I just made Sky Striker.
Oh, geez, sick.
Yeah, so like I just made a fresh deck, and I still have all these super gems. But Torrential Tribute is, in my opinion, one of the best trap cards in the game right now, just because no one expects it. It's basically Nibiru, but as a trap card.
It's weird that they don't, because that's the first thing I think when I'm against Eldlich, or against any set 5, is I'm going to get torrentialed. What do I do to recover from that?
That's what I'm saying. And I like playing Torrential in other decks because of that, because if you go set 2, they're not thinking... Say you're playing... Like, I play an Invoke Dolls, and people aren't thinking that my set 2 is going to be, like, Torrential and Judgment. They're going to think it's Schism and something else.
Yeah, if I'm against that deck and they set 2, I'm actually thinking Schism Imperm. And those are the two cards
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, like, they do their whole play, pop my board, and then on their last summon, I'm like, all right, Torrential? Good job, I guess, bud.
Maybe I'll play around a Punishment, too, because there's a chance they drew another one of Punishment, but I'm not playing around Torrential in that match at all.
Yeah, like, I think it's such a good just surprise card. And plus, in that deck, it also interacts with all the dolls, so like
Yeah, it
it's
lets
just
them
such a
float.
good trap. But then we got we're gonna go over the Golden Lord lineup. We got triple Sanguine, of course, triple Conquistador because best card to go with it. Pop a guy, pop a face up card on board. And I love the fact that it's not a face up monster; it's a face up card on board. So if they have a troublesome trap that you need to deal with, continuous spell like against Sky
Multi-roll.
Striker, their continuous spell is a pain in the ass. You just pop it.
Multi-roll's cracked, especially in this type of matchup. Like, if you're against Striker, a lot of their cards aren't that crazy against you, but I feel like them using multi-roll to loop, like, the Spell Trap Destroyer, the one that destroys monsters and then destroys spell traps and that kind of thing, is what's going to let them out-tempo and kill you, so having it as an out to that's pretty clean.
Oh yeah, in that matchup especially, outing multi-roll is like the most crucial thing you can do. And then two Haquero. I kind of want to bump this card to 3, just because playing a lot of Invoke dolls actually made me realize this, is that Banish 2 is really good, but sometimes Banish 3 says they can't play the game.
Yeah.
Because, especially in matchups like Sky Striker, for example, if you hit all 3 of their rays, they lose the game. They're not playing the game anymore.
Yeah, for the most part, they're done. So, what would you cut to put in a third, though?
I don't know. That's the issue. Is like, maybe like one of the ashes because I don't like 2 ash. I think I just would do when I cut it down to 1.
Another thing with Ash in your deck, you don't lose as hard as other decks do to Max C. And you can kind of play around Max C in this format with your deck pretty easily. I feel like in the base game, if you're trying to resolve Conquistador, you'll go activate Conquistador, Chain, Elixir. But in this game, you probably just turn your toggle to on, and then activate Elixir first, allow it to resolve, and then Conquistador. That way, if they have the Max C, you can opt to not Conquistador and not give them another card.
Yeah, that's what I do because giving them 2 cards off of that really sucks.
Makes the pot not really worth
default
it.
settings aren't like that, so it'll just have you do both, and that's change your default settings, kids.
Yeah, I like to play with it a lot. Like, I'll toggle it to on when I want it on, and I'll toggle it to auto when I don't really care.
Yeah, it's just toggling to on is like definitely what you want to do, especially with this board, because like you don't want to give them 2 cards off of Max C.
Yeah, rather just give them 1 and save the pop for next turn.
Yeah.
Also,
and I mean, like,
go ahead.
If they're gonna kill you that turn, obviously give them the extra draw to pop a card so you don't die. But having the option to give them that draw is nice.
Yeah. But so it would make sense to me cutting Ash since you don't really lose to the maximum cockroach.
Yeah, Maxi is at 3. Oh my god, I've been loving this card because, like I said, in this deck especially, set 5 Maxi, it stops their turn. They're not playing.
Yeah, it's like it's cool in a deck like this where all you play are traps and draw cards, and it's a trap and a draw card. So it just like fills 2 slots for the price of 1. It's kind of strong.
And if they do have the Ash or the called by for it, it's eating another card out of their hand.
Yeah, you're just trading with the Ash, so now they don't have it for the Elixir.
Yeah, that's the best part of it. If they do Ash it, is like you then get Eldlich Conquistador without like worrying about your Eldlich getting negated.
It's the dream, baby.
And then more traps. We got more traps. We got 3 Dogmatic of Punishment because Natis is a card that you should own 3 of if you're playing this deck. But I have Fossil Warrior Skull Knight instead because it's an SR.
How often does it come up where you wish you had a second or third Natis, and how often does the Skull Knight do the same thing or better?
I actually really wish I had a second Natis very often. So if you're playing this deck, I highly recommend crafting at least 2 Natis.
Is that the next UR you're gonna get?
Probably, because if you banish it off of Extrav, you don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
You feel really bad about it because this card is like really crucial to breaking boards. Just because like it's a pop 2. You get to pop a small guy and a big guy. Or any card. You get to pop a guy and then any card. It's just broken in half. And then counter traps, we got 3 Judgment because negate almost anything in the game is pretty damn good.
For real.
We got 2 Strikes because I don't have a third and I would love to be playing a third instead.
I was about to say, I feel like the main thing that I would change if I played this list is the 3rd Strike. I think that card is crazy in this deck.
Third strike over Golden Land Forever. The only reason I'm playing Golden Land Forever is because I don't have a third strike.
How often does that card like come up as the card you want to search? Because it seems like it could be really strong, especially like in best of one. If you're just setting it because you went first, you win the game.
It's crazy in best of one sometimes because you pop a card with Conquistador and then you negate a card by tributing the Conquistador.
And then you get to float.
And then you get to float. It's so crazy. It's so much value off of 2 cards. And then we got triple skill drain because Eldlich is it's not Eldlich without skill drain.
Are there any other floodgates you want to play? Or are you content with it just being skill drain?
I do want to play more floodgates. Like either like goes in match or there can only be one something. Just because like those just shut down decks.
The build that I played at locals on Thursday, I played triple skill drain, triple goes in, triple rivalry, triple there can.
And like if you like one of those is going to be dead in any given matchup, but if you have the other 3, you probably win the game.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, there's something in my deck that auto wins against everyone.
And like I don't know what rarity those are on here. I can actually let me
their
grab.
can is super. No, their can is ultra. I think the other 2 are super.
Gotcha. So like goes in match is a really good super you could pick up. Like goes in match paired with skill drain, that's really hard to play around for a lot of decks. And like skill drain on its own for a lot of decks is troublesome. Like if you flip skill drain against Bird Up, they lose the game.
Even going second, it's really strong, and it goes really well in tandem with torrential and punishment for breaking boards.
It's funny that you say that because that's actually how I beat Bird Up in my replay. Is I went second and I set skill drain torrential, and then skill drain torrential clears their board.
It's insane how those cards work so well together. I love skill drain for that because it's like a floodgate, but it also paired with a board breaker forces the resolution of the board breaker. So it's just like it works similar to strike in that instance, but also when it resolves, they're not playing the game after the fact either. Helps like break the board and also stops recovery. It's really strong.
It's incredible because it's a board breaker that says you don't get to play the game after I break your. And now we're gonna go into extra deck.
No side.
The extra deck isn't super. Huh?
No side.
Haha. I wish it was best of 3, dude. Best of 1 format feels so weird. But extra deck isn't super relevant. There's a lot of good cards that you can play, and like as you can see, I have like some commons and stuff in here that are just really good for the deck, and they're free. So of course, the best card in your entire extra deck, in my opinion, is Natis because punishment with Natis is pop any 2 cards, or not any 2 cards, but 1 monster below 25, and then any other card on board. And then I'm also playing 3 Fossil Warrior Skull Knight because this card is basically just Natis, but a turn later.
He banishes to pop a monster, right?
Monsters though. So it's pop 2 monsters, but one of those
thing
monsters
with that card is it's delayed though.
Turn.
So like if there's
it's
nothing
a better
you want
budget option than anything else. The like Natis is obviously your choice, but this is a good budget option because it's super.
Yeah. There's probably instances where it comes up that it's strong too, like the fact that if they only have 1 monster and you don't really want to pop a back row, you could like grave that and then use it on the next turn after they commit to building a board.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing it's super nice for. I think I do want to play a 2-2 split on Natis and Skull Knight. Because I think that both have their utilities in certain situations that are incredible. And then we got one of this guy, Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, because you can make him off of any of the traps and Ash Blossom.
It's so strong when you get to synchro with that card. It feels mighty.
It's really goofy. It also has a really good effect. Like it's a 3k body that is Ghost Ogre.
And can attack twice when it kills a guy and gains its attack.
Yeah, like this card is actually kind of insane to be able to make off of Ash and just any of your random trap monsters.
And a trap that already resolved for value, hopefully.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. And then we got 2 Volcasaurus. It's a rank 5 common. It's just Value City Furniture. That is what this card is. It is the entirety of Value City Furniture, and it's a common. So it's free, and it's pop a monster on board by using 2 already used traps.
How often's it came up? Because I remember when I was like going through the commons and rares to make a video on it, I brought that card up to you. Has it like since then been good?
So funnily enough, a lot of the time that I make this card, it's under skill drain, and it's just to kill with the 25 attack. It doesn't actually, like, sometimes, there's very rare occasion where I do get to resolve its effect, and it's actually really good, but most of the time, I just make it to go for game. I just need the damage.
Dude, there's I don't remember the name of it. I'd have to like look. There's like the Shark rank 5. I think it's also really cheap in this game.
I think it's just Shark Fortress, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I was playing that at locals, and I had such a cool line come up where I too had skill drain, and I made the Shark Fortress under skill drain using 2 of my traps. And so I attack to clear one of his guys, and then I main 2 summon Zeus, and I activate Zeus effect, detaching both of my traps, but I'm under skill drain, so I don't wipe the board, but now my traps were engraved to activate, and I had a 3k beater in defense.
That's crazy. That's another card that I do want to add to the extract that I don't have is Zeus.
That card's really sick. When you get it, I feel like when it comes up, you're going to feel like a fucking man when you resolve that shit. It feels so good.
Honestly, I think that's the next Ultra that I'm going to craft over another Natis. I think I'm going to craft a Zeus and then another Natis for the deck.
The Zeus is also more versatile, and you've got a lot of decks built, so it probably makes sense to build that one first.
Oh, yeah. And then we got 2 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. What a name we have. But
This
yeah,
card's dirty.
burn 2k. You make it with 2 Golden Lords, which like isn't hard to do at all. And it's burn for 2k, and if you swing with 1 Golden Lord at 25, and then 1 that you brought back with its own effect at 35, and then you make this its game. It's perfect 8k.
Would you play the Juggernaut one? The one that goes on top of it?
I need to do that. I don't know. I think it's an Ultra as well.
Damn, why is every good card Ultra?
Yeah, I know. I didn't. I don't know if they're in the same pack, but I didn't pull any. I have 2 of this guy because he's okay. He's just a good rank 10 that I managed to pull while getting my Gustavs.
Yeah, that card's really strong. Honestly, 4k defense is big under skill drain. 32 attacks big
4K
under skill drain.
Is, you probably don't get over it. You have to remove it somehow because 4K is massive.
That card also seems just cracked in the mirror match and in the striker matchup. Just control decks in general being completely unaffected by their spell and traps.
Oh yeah, it's a good extract. I think I only want to play 1 of it. I do want to get the big
Libel or something like that.
Yeah, Liba something. I think it's a German name, but yeah, that card is incredible to go into off of Gustav. Burn for 2k and then just have a 6k beater.
And it's 4k under skill drain, which comes up. It's just like big all around.
Dude, 4k attack under skill drain is massive.
I was playing it at locals because they're only rares in the real game.
Yeah, dude, they're so cheap in there. They're like 10-cent cards. And we're playing another common rare lineup. We got Ravenous Tarantula, Pain Gainer, and 7 Sins. Because this line is... I've had this come up a lot, actually. Where you go into this guy under skill drain, and it's just 4k.
Hell yeah. Have you used the common dude's effects before, the board wipe?
I have. It was okay when I used it. A lot of the time, I end up banishing one of the pieces off of it, and you can't use it. But if you don't banish the piece off of it, and you can just, like, do that and then go up the ladder, it's so strong.
What's that last card, the UR? Is that the Megaclops?
Yeah, it's Infinitrack, because I just pulled this. I can't remember. I think it's from the same pack that you get Gustav from.
Yeah.
And it's just a 4k that you can send off of Punishment.
Does it ever, has it ever came up where you made it?
Funnily enough, I've not made it, but I have had it to where my opponent put up a 4k guy under skill drain, and then I punishmented with Megaclops.
He was probably salty as hell. He's like, why is that happening to me right now? I want to leave this
I mean,
earth.
like, most people aren't running 4k guys, so, like, I only have 2 in the extract right now, I believe. Yeah, it's just 7 Sins and Megaclops. So, like, being able to not send 7 Sins and send a guy and still be able to go up this ladder was absolutely insane that game. Realistically, this is getting replaced with Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus will be insane in this deck.
Yeah, so this should be a Zeus, but for now, it's just a good send off of punishment.
Especially with that the insect package, you'll be able to make a 5 material Zeus.
Oh my god, yeah?
And then Zeus, if you use his other effect when something you control is destroyed to equip, then it'll be a 6, and so you'll just like they won't be able to destroy your cards. So if they have like Twin Twister and stuff, if they use it, it's gonna give Zeus another negate, and then you can equip it equips from your deck or grave, I believe, or extra deck. So you could equip one of your Eldlich traps from your deck, and then when you Zeus, you'll have the Eldlich trap engraved too.
That sounds insane.
That
Yeah,
card's so
Zeus is
strong.
such a versatile card for the deck.
You have any other thoughts on your list? Any closing remarks?
Um, Things to change about the deck. Definitely take out an Ash for probably just another trap. You don't have to play Twin Twister. You could play any other back row removal. And I understand that a lot of people don't like Card of Demise in the deck. I personally am a huge fan of it, but if you don't want to play Card of Demise, you probably just play either more good traps or just another draw card, like maybe the Prosperity or something.
Yeah, if I were to play a different draw card, it would probably have to be Prosperity. I can't think of another one that would be that good in this deck. Like maybe Upstarts, but that's not doing much.
Yeah, and like Upstarts are ultra rares in this game. They're expensive to craft.
Oh yeah, I always forget that Upstarts not budget. It's so dumb.
Yeah, in real life that card's $1 max, but dude, on here it's like more expensive than it is in real life, and that's goofy.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, thank you for the profile. Anyone that watched to this point in the deck profile definitely should just go check out his channel, Trip Tracks. It'll be in the description. I think I said that wrong. TrixTrap. I slurred my letters right there.
Trap Tricks archetype, but backwards. It's just that.
This guy, named after traps, plays traps.
I'm the trap man.
Trap man Manny.
I myself am a trap. I lay on the floor, and when someone steps on me, I just clamp them. They're donezo.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching.